Okay, everybody, Andrew Douglas here from the Piper's Dojo and Dojo University, and we're going to listen to a really highlightful bagpipe band event called the Glasgowlands Games, which was hosted just this past weekend, July 16th, I believe, 2016. So we're going to have a listen to five of the best bands from our area here in the Northeast US here. So let's get started with the show. All right, everybody, welcome again. Very glad that you're tuned in, if you are tuned in. And we are going to get started by listening to, let's start with some of the grade 3 bands that played at Glasgowlands. Let's just have a listen through and enjoy it the best we can. Let me find the right screen here. Perfect. Here we go. So this is the Manchester Pipe Band in the grade 3 contest. I think they were third place overall. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Interestingly, all the videos are out, but I haven't gotten a definitive results. Let me search for that as we have a listen to this band. Got to turn on this audio so we can hear it, and this should hopefully work. Okay, cool. So that was the Manchester pipe band there. Really nicely put together video. So I did a little bit of research while we were on the break there. So actually, coincidentally, all of the recordings that I have queued up here for today are actually from the grade 2 Challenge Up contest. So I can drag this right into my window here and we can see, or at least I thought I could. Hang on, hold that thought. Where did my window go there? Well, it got lost. But actually, if we just go to uspba.org here, right here at the top, when it comes to results anyway, we can see the latest. So this is the grade 2 challenge up here. So that was the 5th place performance by the Manchester Pipe Band. Let's go next to Scotia-Glenville, 4th place overall. Whoops, sorry, let me start it properly. Alrighty, that was the Scotia-Glenville Pipe Band. We're going to skip ahead next to the third place overall band, which was, if we go back to our results, third place overall band will be the Worcester Kilty Pipe Band, and here is the recording for them. Let's see what happens. Skip ahead to the beginning. All right. So that is the Worcester Kilty Pipe Band, who were third place overall in the Grade 2 Challenge. So this is a great opportunity to get to hear all the bands, with the possible exception of Capital Region Celtic, because they didn't challenge up. But next, we will listen to the second place band, New York Metro. The best video I could find is here by El Hernandez here. So the picture isn't great, but I thought the audio was pretty good. Here comes New York Metro. So that was New York Metro. Rocking and rolling along. So that was the second place band, as we can see in our list here. So next up will be the McMillan Pipe Band, who, as you can see, got straight first in the Grade 2 contest, which I'm sure they're very excited about, because if I'm not mistaken, they were just upgraded to Grade 2 this year. I could be mistaken about that. I'm sure someone will correct me if that's true, but let's have a listen to them. Here we go. All right. So, McMillan Pipe Band. I couldn't help but notice Andrew Donlan tuned in there. Would love to hear his thoughts if he's still out there. He says, just keeping on, keeping on. Definitely lots of stuff that we liked, and the best run the band has had on the field this year, but we're still working. The band was really happy with the result, but even happier that we are back at it tonight. Must be referring to band practice, which is cool, man. Really, really good. So I hope everybody enjoyed listening to some of the bands. And let's see here. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon, of course, for more Piper's Dojo TV content. Make sure, if you like what you're hearing, that you subscribe to our live feed. Also, check us out on our YouTube channel and in podcast form. If you are just on the go and if you're like me and listen to a lot of podcasts, these shows turn into podcasts as well. So, thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in. Hope everybody enjoyed it, and we will see everybody again soon on Piper's